But as of right now, we've got 4 solid months, or 10 days short of 5 months without a fatality. Now, if that's not important, I don't know what is. Now, I've had, and I'm going to tell you a little story. I had somebody in Columbia during one of the meetings. We go up there to see all kind of people about this thing. When I told them the volume of cars that come through here on a monthly basis, which is, $1.2 million, $1.3 million, maybe $1.5 million, what I understood, this person said, well, that's not bad to have, 3, 4, 5 fatalities a year. Well, percentage-wise, and you compare us to the other states and the other freeways and all that, maybe it's not. But when you think about it, I don't know that an acceptable fatality rate exists anywhere. I mean, what is it, 1, 2, 5? And I've asked the people that, and I've had a few of them give me a little snide look like, well, 1 or 2 a year ain't bad. Well, 1 a year is bad if it's your daughter. 1 a year is bad if it's your brother. Might not be as bad in your mind if it's somebody else, but when it hits close to home, it is bad. So the only acceptable rate and the only goal is 0. Now, we all strive for that. We'll probably never achieve that over a long term, but that is the goal. And, in Ridgeland, we're not going to be happy with 1.5 a year or 3.2 a year or 5.5 a year. We're going to be happy with 0, and we're going to do everything we can to keep it that way. Now, we're just about done, by the way. There was an article put out in the Washington Post several weeks ago, 18th of November. Thousands of people could be saved from death on Americans' roads each year if drivers embrace strict drunk driving enforcement and widespread use of speed cameras, which have helped cut fatalities by half in 15 high-income countries, according to a major new study. The United States is behind other countries when it comes to pursuing strategies that reduce traffic fatalities. The comparisons were made by transportation experts at the National Research Council, a 94-year-old organization founded by the national academies. The twin issues of political will and public acceptance will determine whether the life-saving steps successful in other developed nations can be taken in the United States. Now, that's the national endorsement to me of the program. This past Sunday, there was an article printed statewide and reprinted in most papers dealing with the state troopers, Highway Patrol. The headlines probably differed in each paper, but basically what it amounts to is the Highway Patrol in the last several years keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller due to budget cuts at the state level and on and on and on. I'm going to read you something here. This is off the Highway Patrol website. This agency has specific jurisdiction over all South Carolina state highways, U.S. highways, interstate highways in the state, and all public roads. Local city police have responsibility to investigate and enforce traffic laws in incorporated cities. Okay, we are an incorporated city, incorporated town, same thing. However, South Carolina Highway Patrol can still enforce traffic laws on any public road anywhere in the state, regardless of it, whether it's incorporated or unincorporated. South Carolina Highway Patrol has authority over any incident that would require a trooper's response. Okay, they have primary jurisdiction and everything. Responsibility falls to the town of Ridgeland. So that 7.3 miles out there, it's our situation. It is within the town in both directions. And as long as it's in town, we have to do what we have to do. We don't get to sit up here and say, well, we don't want to deal with the freeway, we don't want to deal with Green Street, or we don't want to deal with 3rd Avenue. You're in town or you're out of town. It's just that simple. I didn't put it in town. Let's just say I inherited it. And since I inherited it, we have to deal with it, and that's what we do here. We have in Ridgeland, my goal, and I think most of the council members or all of them would probably agree with me, is we try to go after real problems with real solutions. And when you do that, you get real results. We've got real results in our program. And I hope the people throughout the state will get what the real results are at some point in time. Now, this article about the Highway Patrol. Highway Patrol's lost 163 troopers since 2008, according to the director of DPS, Mr. Mark Keel. Last year, the average response time for the Highway Patrol, which handles wrecks on interstates and state highways, was 30 minutes. He expects the average to having increased in 2010 because of the trooper shortage. Serious crashes, local police and emergency responders get to the scene to aid the injured. But a trooper must write the report and clear the scene. Slower response times means it takes longer for the scenes to be cleared, which results in bigger traffic jams. The roads may not be as safe as if we had more troopers on the road. The roads may not be as safe if we had, and the situation can create a domino effect as local police who are needed in their communities become tied up handling traffic accidents until the highway patrol arrives. In addition, we send the rescue truck. The county has to send the ambulance. It goes on and on and on and on. And that's the way the thing works. But if you take all the information and all the studies that's been done on automated speed enforcement over probably 30 years, and you take a first-of-a-kind program in the country that we have, which I'll say a little bit more about in a minute, we in Ridgeland have a solution to the problem in the state and for the state patrol. The simple solution is this: implement this program statewide on all freeways and major highways. It's just that simple. It'll solve the need for more troopers. It'll slow people down. It'll reduce accidents. It'll eliminate fatalities. It's kind of like a no-brainer. I mean, it's all right there. Now, during our process of getting pounded by several newspapers, we've decided not to have a press war, okay? And we kind of laid low for a while, trying to send them only facts and figures. Now, when the line was crossed several weeks ago, the line being an implication that we're breaking the law and cheating the state out of money, okay, that's a line. When that was crossed, we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to stand up and fight. And if there are any further implications, all we ask you to do is prove them. If you can't, then you're the one with egg on your face. And, you know, again, this is directed solely to the two newspapers that have been doing this for so long. I hope what I pointed out here, the information is available. All you have to do is ask for it. Anybody, and any of you ladies and gentlemen that have called down here to go see the system, to go do this, that, has anybody ever been turned down? You've been turned down?
You told me I couldn't go.
Oh, was that the other day?
No, that's been several times over several months.
Okay, I need to talk to you after this, because no, that wasn't what I meant. What I meant is I don't want you standing down on the freeway in the middle of the traffic taking pictures. We'll put a police escort with you and take you out there. I don't want you out there by yourself, because that creates problems too. But that may have been a misunderstanding, and I apologize for that. But no, anybody can go anytime. You've got to give us time, though, to get a police escort to take you out there. What we don't want is somebody standing beside the road taking pictures of this, that, and the other, because we don't want people slowing down. We don't want people looking back at what's going on. You know, when you have an accident out there and you have blue lights flashing in an ambulance, you ever watch what happens? They slow down. That just creates a chain reaction and causes more problems. So anytime you want to go, you're welcome. You call me, you call the police chief, we'll figure out a way to get you out there, okay? If you want any information, just call us, all right? Now, I've got a little bit more information here that I will cover if you have questions about it. I'm not going to dig deep into it. I have the Attorney General's opinion. We have some other statements here about this and that, and some research we've done. So I'll kind of leave that more to you asking questions. I got all day. All right. If anybody wants to go out after this, we'll figure out a way to get you out there, okay? But please don't go by yourself. That's all we're asking. Now, the final statement, and I typed this just in case I didn't have a voice by the time I got here, is I will close by saying that more than 98% of the people who travel through the town of Ridgeland on Interstate 95 are safer because of our automated speed enforcement program. It takes courage to think outside the box, and despite all the negative publicity, we are proud of our leading role in the field of public and police officer safety. More than 50 automated speed enforcement programs exist in various communities throughout America, but ours is the very first to be operated by certified police officers. The rest are unmanned, still mounted. We are setting the standard in regards to using modern technology to effectively enforce the speed limit on dangerous highways. Stay tuned, because after all is said and done, Ridgeland will be the leader in South Carolina, and South Carolina will be the leader in the United States in regards to saving lives on public highways. So now, any questions?
Yeah, I've got quite a few, Mayor.
Quite a few?
Yeah, the first being, you sort of said that fatal crashes since the program started August 1 have been down to none.
They're zero.
How many were there during that same time period, the year before that, maybe 2009, 2008, to provide some context for that?
Don't have that.
Okay.
What I was told, there were 3 last year.
3 last year.
And that's just off the cuff here now. I think that's what it is.
Okay.
And there were 3 the year before. I think 5 the year before that. That's what, 07? And that's probably the last I better say, but
Okay.
somewhere in that range.
Okay. You guys have decided to ticket drivers under a municipal ordinance as opposed to the state's uniform traffic law. Can you sort of explain what the rationale behind that choice was?
Sure, that's simple.
Okay.
Let me find that ticket. What we do, we, like any law enforcement agency, we have a right to charge anybody with an offense we're dealing with a lesser charge.
Mhm.
That's exactly what that is. It is a lesser charge. It does not normally, and again, I say normally because outside the state, it's whatever state deals with whatever. It does not normally result in points or insurance increases, okay? Our goal is not points or insurance increases. Our goal is to slow people down, okay? We have slowed people down, and we have the facts and figures to back it up. We've slowed them down tremendously. Now, in difference to what has been alleged about some of the towns who would take a blue traffic ticket, and there's several of them in the state now that's done this over the years, and rewrite it on a white local citation. They would raise the amount of the ticket. Let's say that at that time, a speeding ticket for 11 over was $100. Town A or Town B or Town C would write that ticket on the local one for $150. Keep all the money. A $100 ticket gets you about $37.
Sure.
Okay? Everything else goes to the state. Now, the reason we do this is solely in the interest of public safety, to slow people down. We don't want to hound them. We don't want the insurance hound them. We just want to slow them down. Now, when they get this ticket in the mail, most of them sit and look and think. We sent a letter along with it, which has been updated several times, but the most recent letter, the very last sentence of it says, you know, please remember, or please keep in mind, or something like that, that you received this citation due to your excessive speeding. A small percentage of people are complaining about getting the tickets. But in no case have they dealt with the fact that it was 83 on 70 or 85 on 70. They don't want to worry about that. They think that's okay. Not one ticket is with anybody below 81. So again, we give you the 10 like most jurisdictions in the country. That's why it's that cutoff. But the point being, we chose to do it this way to get the program going. Now, we may change back a year from now. I don't know. But right now, the fine for the ordinance violation that we put in the block on the uniform traffic ticket the state provides is $133 for 11 to 15 miles an hour. It goes up to the next level for height. Whether we do it this way or that way, it is the same. We do not change it. That way, we're not tinkering with the state's revenue. If speeding is $133, they get their share. Now, their share for a typical traffic ticket, which is $133, 63% goes to the state or state mandated programs. That's $84 out of $133, 49 and some pennies stay local. All right. 63% goes to the state. They get it on every single ticket. That's why we do it the way we do it. Now, we've had a few people call, make an issue out of that, and we'll state right here, if somebody happens to get a citation written that way, they want us to rewrite it. It'll be the same blue form, but they want us to rewrite it for 87 and a 70 versus the way we did it, which is putting this here and putting 87 to 70 over the right. We'd be more than happy to do that. They'll lose 6 points in their insurance to go through the roof. So if they want it, we'll do it. But right now, we prefer to stick with this thing to get the public mindset. This is all about changing driver behavior through our section of responsibility. And it's working. So we're not trying to put anybody in jail or do any of that. We're just trying to get your attention. And apparently what we're doing is working, because they are certainly slowing down. The accidents are less, the fatalities are zero. I mean, what else can we do to show the thing's working?